How to install a unique home design surface mount double security screen door featuring the MeshTech Advanced Screen System. Installation of this product is above average in difficulty. Professional installation is recommended. If you are experiencing difficulty with your installation and require assistance, please contact us before returning the product to the retailer. Customer service and technical support are available at 1-866-317-8867 or support@uhdco.com, Monday through Friday from 6:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. First, make sure you have the right product and size for your application. Assess your opening and identify your mounting surface. Notice which side of your double entry door you use to enter and exit. This side will be the active security door. The other side will be the inactive security door. The security door requires a minimum of 1-inch mounting surface on the trim above and on both sides of your entry door. Identify your mounting surface and check and correct for any obstructions like doorbells, foliage, and light fixtures. Measure your opening. Measure the width between the inside edge of the right and left mounting surfaces. The security door will fit if this measurement is between 64 5/8 inches and 65 5/8 inches for a 64-inch double door, or between 72 5/8 inches and 73 5/8 inches for a 72-inch double door. Measure from the bottom edge of the upper mounting surface to the existing threshold. The security door will fit if this measurement is between 78.5 and 79 5/8 inches. If the opening is larger than these ranges, you can check to see if there is a narrower mounting surface on your entryway that will work. Build your mounting surface out using stop or similar trim, or remove or reconfigure your trim to bring the opening within the fit range. Check and correct for possible hardware interference as described in the installation instructions. Next, open the double door kit package shown here, remembering not to discard any packaging materials until you have successfully completed the installation. Be sure to read all the way through the enclosed instructions before beginning the installation. Next, remove and identify all parts, cross-referencing the illustrated list in the installation instructions. Open both door boxes and immediately dispose of the installation instructions in each box. They will not be needed. Remove the plastic from the door panels with the exception of the plastic that is under the cardboard throw protectors. Pull the box of hardware from the top of each door and remove all the parts. These include all the fasteners and hardware needed for the installation. Remove the header jamb, the hinge side jamb, and the lock side jamb from each door panel, and then remove the bug sweeps. Remove the protective plastic from the frame pieces, separating the snap covers as you do so. Remove the protective plastic from both door panels, leaving the top stickers in place until installation is completed. You will not be using all the parts from each door box. Simply follow the double door installation kit instructions in this video and the leftover parts will become obvious in the end. Refer to the installation instructions and determine if a bottom bar will be used. If not, you can still use the bottom bar to position the side jambs to the right distance apart. Place the bottom bar with the open sides of the bracket facing the mounting surface. If you're installing the bottom bar, it should be snug to the mounting surface. If not, place it a few inches in front of the mounting surface to allow room to install the side jambs flush to the existing threshold. If you're using the bottom bar, slip the active side jamb over the bottom bar mounting tab. If not, just use the tab to position the active side jamb properly on the mounting surface and install the bottom bar of the jamb flush to the threshold. Level and plumb the active side jamb and attach with 2 temporary mounting screws, installing the top screw first, then the bottom. Repeat this procedure for the inactive side jamb. If you're not using the bottom bar, remove it from the work area. If you are using the bottom bar, attach it to the side jamb through the pre-drilled mounting holes with the screws provided. Fit the top header jamb by placing it on top of both side jambs. If necessary, make adjustments to the side jambs by loosening the top temporary screws and shifting the jamb to make the top header jamb flush with the side jambs. Note, be careful not to remove the black weather stripping during installation. While it's easy to remove, it's not so easy to reinstall. Once the top bar is in place, trim any excess weather stripping to form a good seal. Put 2 temporary screws in the top header jamb included in the double door kit. Right and left holes only. Do not lay the door down on the latch side to install the hinges, as this may offset the locking system, requiring you to reset the hardware as shown later in the video. Next, start by attaching the hinges to the doors. The hinge pin side of the hinge attaches to the mounting frame, and the flat side of the hinge attaches to the door. Make sure the hinge is seated flat in the channel. The barrel of the hinge should be on the outside of the door. Remove tape and discard throw protector from the edge of the active door panel. Next, remove all 3 door latches from the inactive door. Remove the mortise gear and center latch. Lift the top latch up and out. Pull the bottom latch down and out. Using needle nose pliers, grab the rod assembly through the mortise gear and center latch opening so you can grab the top of the rod assembly through the top latch opening and pull the entire assembly out through the top latch opening. Attach the astragal from the double door kit to the inactive door, making sure it is flush with the top of the door. Retract the chute bolt using the lever indicated by the red dot. With the door panel lying on the hinge side, slide the chute bolt into the top of the astragal so it is flush with the top edge of the astragal. Using the mounting hole in the chute bolt as a guide, use a 7/64 inch drill bit to pre-drill the exposed top mounting hole in the astragal and secure with the screw provided. Deploy the chute bolt lever to expose the bottom mounting hole. Use a 7/64 inch drill bit to pre-drill the bottom mounting hole. Finish attaching the chute bolt to the astragal using one of the screws provided. Slide the chute bolt into the astragal at the bottom of the inactive door. Retract the chute bolt by pulling up on the lever and positioning the chute bolt flush with the bottom of the astragal. Using the exposed mounting hole in the chute bolt as a guide, use a 7/64 inch drill bit to pre-drill the mounting hole in the door edge. Attach with one of the screws provided. Deploy the chute bolt lever to expose the bottom mounting hole. Use a 7/64 inch drill bit to pre-drill the bottom mounting hole. Finish attaching the chute bolt with one of the screws provided. With a helper holding the door in position, hang the door panels on the jambs by attaching the hinges to the jambs using the screws provided. It's important that the door panel is held in proper position so the first mounting screw in each hinge is driven straight into the door panel. It may be helpful to use blocks or similar props to assist in keeping the door properly aligned. Install all 6 hinges, 3 on each jamb, using the screws provided, 3 screws per hinge. Using the dummy handles and blocks from the double door kit, attach the block to the back of each dummy handle, tapping in place as needed until they are flush or below the hardware trim plate. Install the dummy hardware on the inactive door with the screws provided, and then install the screw covers to hide the screws. Using the locking handle and spindles from one of the door packages, install the hardware in the inactive door, leaving each mounting screw about a half a turn from tight. Insert the lock cylinder into the hardware from the inside of the door. Tighten the retaining screw until snug. Then go back and tighten the mounting screws on the handle. Install the screw covers provided to hide the screws and remove the plastic from the door handles. With the door open, retract the 3-point locking mechanism using the key or thumb turn. Keep the door open and test the mechanism by first depressing the 3-point locking system trigger, then deploying the locks by using the key or thumb turn. If the locks won't deploy, the system has been offset and must be manually reset. If the top and bottom lock throws do not operate, you will need to reset your hardware. If a hardware reset is required, remove the cylinder by removing the set screw and pulling it out of the door panel. Carefully remove the handset trim plates and handles, holding the handles so they don't fall to the ground. Remove the 2 mortise lock mounting screws in the edge of the door panel. Grab the main throw with one hand. Pull the lock mechanism out of the edge of the door panel and place your other hand behind the black plastic linkage connector. Keep pressure on the linkage connector so that it stays connected to the lock mechanism as you pull until it's just outside the edge of the door panel. Push down on the lock mechanism until it clicks. Ensuring the linkage connector remains attached to the back of the lock mechanism, raise and slide the lock mechanism back into the door panel. The top and bottom lock throws should be fully deployed. Reinstall the lock set, handles, and cylinder by reversing the removal procedure. Test the locking system again as previously described to ensure that it's working properly. Align the doors for level and plumb, using shims as needed so the edge of the doors meet squarely. If the reveals at the top of the doors are uneven, loosen the temporary screws on the top jamb and side jambs and tap the frame to the left or right to even up the top of the doors. Insert the temporary screws in the top holes of each jamb and tighten it completely, making sure that the top of the doors remain level and in line as you do so. Install the top chute bolt receiver cup in the pre-cut hole in the top jamb. Carefully tap into place with a mallet. Check the operation of the chute bolt and adjust as necessary. Check the reveal between the two doors. If the reveal is uneven, loosen the temporary screws and adjust the frame in small increments by tapping the frame and retightening the screws. It will help to place shims between the two doors to help keep them in position. The vertical reveal should be about 1/8 of an inch wide and even from top to bottom as you adjust and tighten the frame screws. If the doors are out of plumb, that is, one door sticking out from the other, loosen the temporary screws enough to place shims between the frame and the house and retighten the temporary screws until the doors are plumb. Ensure the doors are close enough together to trip the 3-point lock activation trigger. If it doesn't engage with the doors closed, the locking system will not operate properly. Pre-drill through all frame holes without temporary screws using a 3/32 inch drill bit. Install permanent screws in all holes just drilled. Then remove the temporary screws one at a time, replacing each one with the permanent screws provided. Using the threshold plate template included, carefully trace and cut the contour of your entryway. Next, trace the cut lines of the template onto the threshold plate. Using this as your guide, carefully cut the threshold plate using tin snips. Fit the threshold plate into position, trimming as needed. Attach the threshold plate against the threshold and install in the final position using the screws provided. Install the bottom chute bolt receiver cup into the pre-cut holes in the threshold plate. Carefully tap into place with a mallet. Check the operation of the chute bolt and adjust as necessary. The bug sweeps included in the double door kit can be installed inside or outside of the door based on configuration of your entryway and preferences. Hold the bug sweep up to the bottom edge of the inactive door so that the ends are even with the edge of the door panel and astragal. Install the bug sweep so that it drags against the threshold or stoop using the screws provided. Position the bug sweep even with the hinge side edge of the active door. Mark and trim where the bug sweep meets the outside edge of the astragal mounted to the passive door. Position the bug sweep so that it drags against the threshold or stoop and install using the screws provided. Hold or clamp the latch guard in place even with the top of the active door, aligning with the pre-drilled mounting holes. Using a 3/32 inch drill bit, pre-drill holes into the door panel through the holes in the latch guard and attach with the screws provided. Install the weather stripping to the full length of the stop leg of the astragal. Start at the top and remove about 6 inches of the protective backing at a time and adhere to the astragal. Slowly and carefully work your way down the full length of the door. Trim at the bottom as needed. The weather stripping is extremely tacky and fragile, so take care when installing. Once the adhesive touches the surface, that's where it stays. Install the snap covers. The hinge side snap covers are included with the doors. The top jamb snap cover is included in the double door kit. Set the snap cover into the channel leading with the outside edge and tap the inside edge into place using a mallet and a wood block. Caulk, paint, and touch-up as needed. And that's all there is to installing a unique home design surface mount double security screen door featuring the MeshTech Advanced Screen System.